Guys, welcome to day 14 of Emotional Intelligence with Coach LDA. And today we're talking about forgiveness. We're going to talk about forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is letting go of anger that you feel towards someone who has wronged you. And this class is very important because truly people wrong us every day. And you're going to continue to find people who will wrong you over and over again. And we know we talked about the last class yesterday, we talked about you finding inner peace. And we say one of the things or one of the ways to find inner peace is when you are not constantly angry with people, when you are not always fighting. And one of the ways to find inner peace is you being able to forgive people. Sometimes the people you're going to forgive are not going to come asking for it, but you're going to do it for yourself because you know your inner peace matters to you a lot. Now, it means that you're letting go of hurt and anger someone had towards you. It means saying what they did was okay. It doesn't mean that you're saying what they did was okay, really. It does not mean that you want to validate every wrong thing people have done to you, but you want to choose peace over revenge. You want to do the right thing. You want to let go of. So one of my mentors used to say something. He said, unforgiveness is like you putting acid in your mouth because you said someone has wronged you and you want to go and spew the acid on that person and you're running after that person to spew the acid on the person. God help you, you eventually catch up with the person and you spew the acid on the person. Probably the person gets a burnt arm or burnt face. But what happens to the person carrying the acid? Your tongue, your mouth, every part of your system burnt. And that's what it is. Unforgiveness is, some studies have linked unforgiveness to cancer, saying that when people continually have unforgiving spirit, it could lead to cancer. So it is not a very popular research, but I can tell you for free that when you hold grudge against people over and over again, you will find out that it leads to many negative things that you don't want to do. So it's very important. Now it helps you. Why do you also need to free yourself? Why do you need to forgive? Why is forgiveness important? It frees your heart from anger. It helps you feel lighter inside. Have you ever had a situation where you had an issue with someone and you guys were able to resolve it, or you let the person go? There's this sigh of relief, this deep sense of at last that comes to you. And that, you see that feeling, you can't buy it. You cannot, I can tell you, you can't buy that feel. So forgiveness gives you that ease, that peace of mind, that stress-free life, you know. It gives room for peace and joy. See, one of the ways you can have that peace we talked about yesterday is if you're able to forgive people, and it helps relationship heal. Imagine, so you have a bicycle or you have a car, and the car goes wrong, and you know we have it. So imagine there's a dumping site where for every time your car goes wrong, you have to go and dump it there. Imagine how many cars will be there. That place, I'm sure there won't be space for. So it means that for every time your car goes wrong, or your bicycle, or your toy, or your phone, you have to throw it away. There won't be a place for you to put it anymore. And it's going to cost you more. And that's the same way it is relationship. When people wrong you, yes, some people you might need to let them go over a period of time. But when people wrong you and you're not making attempts to heal that relationship, and you're always throwing them away, imagine the stress if you have a mobile device, maybe your laptop, your iPad, and something goes wrong with it. Imagine the stress you will go through and the money trying to buy a new one. So sometimes it's good for us to heal our relationships, forgive people, and let's continue to move on. Now, what forgiveness is not? Forgiveness is not pretending. It's not you sweeping the matter under the carpet. It's not you acting like, oh, it did not matter, or this person did not hurt me. No. It is you acknowledging the hurt and actually choosing to forgive the person. Some people will say forgive and forget. I don't know if you are able to forget, because what it means is that you are going to wipe out your memory, which is not possibly true. You're probably not going to forget what the person has done. But what will happen is that every time you remember, it doesn't pain you anymore. I think that's the right word. It doesn't pain you anymore, right? And it's not always staying close to the person. That you're forgiving the person doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. So I'm trying to say what forgiveness is not. And I've mentioned two things earlier. The first thing is It is not pretending that you're not hurt. The second thing is it is not forgetting. And the third thing is not, it's just about staying close to the person. So it's not about you gumming body to the person because you forgive. Yeah, sometimes you forgive people and you let them stay in their space, right? It's part of growth. Now, what forgiveness looks like. Let's talk about what forgiveness looks like. It looks like you saying, I forgive you, or choosing to move on, not holding on to that grudge. So every time someone hurts you and you remember, if you can say, I forgive you and I trust God to help me heal, you would realize that the more you do that over and over again, the way you feel about that pain the first time is not the same way you feel about that pain after the 10th time you've said that. So it is you choosing to let them go for your inner self. And the more you let them go, the more the peace that you feel, the more the joy that comes to your heart. If you decide not to hold a grudge. So one of the things I do to help me forgive people is I tell myself that everything works together for my good. Even if I don't understand what you're trying to do, I know it works for my good. So even if you think you're doing something wrong or bad to me, I tell myself that that thing you're doing will end up working for my good. So I don't take it for I choose to not take it for granted. Like I don't hold it to my heart. It pains me sometimes, and sometimes I go back and tell the person that, oh, you've done this for me and I don't like it. But it helps you when you're able to let people go, when you don't hold on to grudge, when you taking back your power and peace. Unforgiveness is like giving people rent free in your head. Your sister has done something for you yesterday. You have not forgiven her. When will she do another one for you? So forgiveness sometimes is taking back your power and tell you, I take back my power and peace. XYZ, I forgive you. Nkechi, I forgive you. So one of these you want to do for yourself. You want to list out the people that have actually wronged you, and you want to start calling their name to say, I've forgiven you. Tunde, I've forgiven you. Akim, I've forgiven you. You need to find those names and say it to them. Now, it's about another thing you can do to forgive is writing a letter you will not send. So one of the things you can do is when people wrong you and you want to forgive them, write them a letter, but don't send them. I think we've talked about it in this class that you don't write down hurt, you don't send hurtful words. It's not a good criticism, right? It's not a constructive one. So write the letter that you not send. It helps you release those anger. Then praying. You see, praying about it. It looks very simple. Just say, dear God, this person has done something to me and I don't like it. It hurts me deep. I want you to help me forgive this person. I want to take it off my heart. I want to let go of it. And you will be amazed what will happen. So let's take through a process of forgiveness, right? In your activity for today, in your worksheet, you're going to have a journal about choosing to forgive. And, I told you that I said you should list those names. You're going to find that in your worksheet. So let's see how you can use start to forgive. Feel the hurt. Don't run away from it. It hurts you. Stay there. Feel it. Like actually feel the hurt. Say how you feel. Some people you can say it directly to their face. Some people you can write it and send it to them. But say how you feel. Say it out. Decide to release it. It's an intentional thing. You can choose to hold it. You feel like, decide to let it go. Decide to release it. Let it go. Release it. Release it. Then choose peace over and over again. So when someone does something to you, your sister does something to you, and sometimes it's those siblings, your brother, they are the ones that does things that pepper you the most. They are the ones that always, you need to choose. I'm laughing, but sometimes it's not funny. And I know. Sometimes it's like slapping them, like hitting their face really hard. I do not support violence. I'm not saying you should eat people, but I'm saying that sometimes the things they do to you, it go pain you. It go pepper you. But yeah, I'm sure you're saying, but it's not funny. Yes, it's not funny, but let's laugh about it. We can choose to laugh about it, right? So when people do these things to you, you need to choose peace again and again. And you ask yourself, You remember we said forgiveness is not you being your me. Some friends, they continue to hurt you over and over again. And you tell them, I don't like this, and they do it for you. So one of the things you might want to do is moving far away from them. Appreciate them, greet them, don't keep malice. But if you used to spend 10 hours with them, it's okay if you spend 3 hours with them. It's you prioritizing your self-health, like your mental health. So I'm not saying that you should continue to go back to people that have hurt you over and over again. And some people you cannot even be without them, like your siblings. What will you do to them? Will you pack out of your house for them? Some of you sleep on the same bed. Some of them will even share clothes with you. So you need to choose your peace over and over again. On a very serious note, forgiveness is you choosing your peace over and over again. It's not worth it. It's not really worth it holding on. Yes, people hurt you. Some people are actually very terrible, and I want to agree. They do nasty things to you. They say nasty things about you. They really bring you down, but you need to choose to let them go. Forgive them. You might choose not to be their friend again. You might be an acquaintance. You see them, good morning, good afternoon. It's okay, it's fine. But make sure you're not leaving that residue of hurt, of anger, of bitterness in your heart. Right? So the affirmation for today is I forgive others so I can feel free inside. Let's take it again. I forgive others so I can feel free inside. And there's a quote here from Susan Somers that says, forgiveness is a gift you give it to yourself. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. So are you gifting yourself forgiveness today? Go to that worksheet and go and pour out your heart. And if you need to cry, sometimes forgiveness is a lot. And it doesn't happen in a day. Sometimes it's a journey. So it will take you a while. But start that conscious decision to forgive people today. Let it go. Let it slide. Breathe in, breathe out. And with time, you find yourself letting it go. So stay true. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.